The latest bit of police reports related to Pirate Software and his alleged swatting claims has been released to me. And I'm going to be 100% honest, there's nothing super related to swatting in these police reports. There is a little bit of other illegal stuff and a little bit of, just gross, messed up stuff that shouldn't have happened related there. But I'm going to go over that here in a second. Now, if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, I've done a few videos on this channel. You can check those out. I'll make a playlist. I'll link it at the end that you can watch all of those. But essentially, popular streamer Pirate Software, who's becoming less and less popular as the years go on, and as this current controversy unloads itself, and after the Stop Killing Game stuff, has claimed in the past multiple times that he was swatted as a result of his. He said 6 times in a year, swatted as a result of his stance on Stop Killing Games. And when that was initially said, it was like, okay, sure, maybe. Don't like you're not releasing any evidence of it. When people swat people, they tend to do it while they're on stream so that they can see it happen. And there's none of that. But maybe whatever. I don't like when people. I think it's a gross thing to make claims about horrible things happening to you if they didn't happen. But at the very least, it's like, okay, there's no proof that it did happen. There's no proof that it didn't happen. I'm not gonna really care too much about it. But then he went and decided to start using it as a way to manipulate a woman into behaving in a way that he found acceptable. And I was like, okay, I'm looking into this because either way, he's a piece of shit for doing that. But if he's lying, he's even more of a piece of shit for doing that. So I put in for FOIA requests and stuff like that to get and police report requests from his local sheriff's department to get that information. In the original video I did on it, on my main channel, I kind of determined that it really depends on what you'd consider swatting. If you consider being swatted as someone attempted to swat you, as someone made a false police report about you, and with maybe the goal of having police come out to get you, but it never actually happened, the police never come out, and you consider that being swatted, then sure, you can say that he was swatted, maybe. For me, someone making that call is attempting to swat someone, but you have not been swatted until the police have actually shown up. Someone attempted to swat you, which, yes, is a reason to be afraid and scared a little bit because it is a tense thing, but it's not quite the same thing. Someone saying to you, I'm going to come kick your ass, is a lot different than someone showing up at your door and kicking your ass. Those are two separate things. Someone might have threatened you. Someone might have even wanted to and intended to do that. But if it doesn't happen, saying that it did happen is right. But that's all semantics. That's kind of where I'm getting at with that, just for the purpose of giving perspective. I put in those police reports. And when I got the initial results back, they said, we will give you more on May 1st. And they sent me another message saying, hey, we have to delay this until May 15th. I got them a few days ago. I haven't been able to do the video yet, but I got the additional police reports a few days ago. And these police reports are mostly just, to be 100% upfront with you, these police reports are pretty much just screenshots that it appears that Pirate Software, Jason Thorhall, sent to the police that were investigating the matter. So there's not really a lot here that is positive or dispositive to the concept of him being swatted, but there is evidence that he was doxxed. There is 100% evidence that he was doxxed in this. So I'm not going to show, I will show the fact that that message exists, and I will blur out the parts that are doxing him. But here it is. Here's someone that joined his server. It appears that they joined his Discord server with his home address. And I know that that's his home address because do you know who else doxed him? The fucking police. In the police report itself that I have received, it has his home address and his phone number and his girlfriend's phone number. So this guy doxed him, but also, like, I didn't have to do anything to prove that I was not putting in for these police reports for nefarious purposes. I just put in for them, I got them, and it has his home address listed, and it has his phone number listed. I'm blurring all that because I don't want to also increase the doxing of him, but yeah, he's kind of, this guy, this is a threat, right? This is not just doxing. What this is, joining someone's Discord server with their home address isn't just a isn't just doxing, it is kind of a threat. I will give you that this is kind of a threat because it's saying I know where you live. And it's a joke that I've made on stream before when I've had assholes come into stream and harass me and blah blah blah, because it does happen. I'm not a big streamer, but you still get assholes, you still get people that have nothing better to do with their lives than harass a random person. So I do still occasionally get people that come in and harass me. For a while there, I was getting a lot of harassment because someone was trying to accuse me of stolen valor because a story that I told about being in the military, they're just like, nah, fuck you, that's stolen valor. And I was getting harassed for a while for that. And I always said, like, I wish I had the skill and the know-how and the stuff set up to do it, or I just could hire someone to do this, where like anytime someone comes in and is an asshole, I would just pull their IP address, pull their actual address, and then just type in chat their address with no context, just as a little bit of, do you want to keep doing this? I know that you think there's no consequences because you're online, but consequences, and then not act on it at all. But like, I thought that would be funny because that would effectively be a threat. Would I actually ever do that? No, because again, that would be a threat. But this is a threat. I'll give you that. This is one of the people that presumably joined his server by the name of Ned Waffen. It's the person that he listed directly. It's one of the people that he listed directly in one of his calls, in one of his police reports to the police that I go over in the video on the main channel, which again, I'll link at the end of this. Ned Waffen. This is another one that is mentioned that joined him and he police report. Nothing else other than this. And I'm going to blur the names here because I also don't want these people to get harassed necessarily. Do they deserve it? Maybe. Am I going to be the one that causes it? No. This is someone by the name of Goatsy Cat, which is kind of funny. I'm going to blur all of this with the description. I'm Tom Pearl's brother-in-law. I'm not 100% sure what that reference is. I think it's just a reference to Urban Dictionary, I guess, if you are over the age of 18. Another person that he sent a screenshot of that joined his Discord. Here is him getting an endless stream of text saying, your time has come. Here is him getting an endless stream of texts from the same person saying, the reckoning is coming, your time has come. Now, this is again, this is harassment. This is stupid. This should not happen. For these things, I do feel bad for Pirate Software. And because I don't want to put out this idea that if you're an asshole online, you deserve to have your life threatened and your peace ruined. Is Pirate Software an asshole? Yes. Does he use his ego and the clout he's built for himself around lies as a way to potentially, to some extent, harm and degrade and denigrate and in ways cause harassment of other people? Yes. Because as much as he might say it's not the case, when you have an audience that was at least the size of his audience at the time, when you start shit-talking someone, there are going to be people in your audience that are going to do it too. And as much as you tell them not to, and that's just something you kind of have to recognize. And he can try to say that he's not responsible for hate being driven at a lot of people that he has shit-talked and he has, in his own way, attacked. And that he's not responsible for his audience's reaction, but you have to take some accountability, dude. But all of that does not mean he deserves this. All of that harassment, all that stupid, him being an egotistical asshole is what it amounts to. Him being an egotistical, narcissistic asshole does not mean he deserves to have his life threatened and be put in fear of his life. I'm going to say that 100%. If you support him having his life threatened, then God, I really hope that you learn on a personal level why that's not okay. And down here is an image that I have to completely blur. Every single part of this, I have to blur. And interestingly, right here, there's an exemption log, and the exemption log says, for page 24, the withheld records are graphic photos. These photos are collected as part of a law enforcement agency's criminal investigation. Specific investigative records compiled by investigative and law enforcement agencies, the non-production of which is essential for the protection of any person's right to privacy. Disclosure of graphic photographs, 1, would be highly offensive to a reasonable person, and 2, is not of a legitimate concern to the public. And that's true. You don't need to know the specifics. This one's bad. This one gets worse right below this line that I'm here. Here's Goatsy Cat, one of the ones that was referenced. You can see him once again doxing Pirate, which don't fucking do, doxing Pirate, and then saying, glory to the group that he's a part of. I'm going to scroll down again. Here is the bottom part of that image that was also blurred, and this one will be blurred because this one has a slur in it. This is something I've never gotten because it says do a certain sort of assault to a slur for African American people. That's bad. Don't do that. Don't say that shit. But, like, what are you hoping to accomplish by spamming this? All you're doing by including this offensive stuff, by including these slurs, by including these graphic things that people don't want to see, is making yourself look worse. You're lowering your own credibility and lowering the message you might be going for. Because if people wanted to harass him because they wanted to in some way punish him for his stance on stop killing games, one, don't be an asshole and don't do that, because ultimately it was just a guy voicing his opinion. He might have been an asshole in the way that he had voiced it, but his opinion wasn't like bigoted. His opinion wasn't fucked up, messed up sort of thing that how dare he say that. It was just a dumb take on something he didn't understand. But if you're hoping that if you're hoping to, like, you're ruining all your own credibility, and now you're making him a victim. You're doing opposite of what you intended to do. Instead of punishing him in the way that you hope to do for the take that you disagreed with, you are now instead making him a victim and making you look like an asshole, which is doing exactly the opposite of what you wanted to do. There's also this graphic image. I feel like this is probably a meme, or this is something that's popular that was going around that people would recognize. I don't recognize it at all, but this is the one that they censored. This is the one that, according to the exemption log, they censored because it would be highly offensive to a reasonable person and not a legitimate concern to the public. Yeah, what the exact context of this is not a legitimate concern to the public, and whatever it is, it might be highly offensive. The fact that this part right here with the slur wasn't considered highly offensive, and with the, saying to do bad things to that slur is not considered highly offensive to them, but whatever this is makes me either wonder why they're okay with this, or how bad is this. But then let's scroll down again. And now it's, the last slide that they sent me is just the same thing being repeated again and sent again at a different time. Or not at a different time, at by a different person at the same time, rather. But yeah, that's it. That's what I got so far. I'll need to recheck the email I got. I'll be getting more stuff either June 15th or July 15th. I can't remember exactly, but I will be getting more updates about this. I will do a video on it then. This video wasn't really anything related to the swatting, but it was showing doxing, and it was showing stuff that, like, dude shouldn't have to be dealing with that. This is going to be the rare case where I'm kind of defending him, because I don't want to defend his takes. I don't want to defend the things that he's done and the way he's hurt people. But just because he's done those things does not merit this response. If you want to challenge him, put out content about him, put out low-cal content about him, make him lose his credibility, do like some people are doing, and do the investigative reporting and ruin his credibility, ruin his ability to continue saying and doing these things with impunity because people will no longer trust him. Don't harass, don't degrade, don't like make him fear for his life, and don't make his girlfriend, who's completely innocent bystander in this but lives with him, and if he does get swatted would potentially be a victim of that as well. Because even if you fucking hate him, even if you have the sort of mentality that you think he deserves the harm that might come to him from being swatted, she doesn't. She has not done anything. So now you're putting someone that is innocent at risk just to potentially lethally hurt someone that isn't innocent but doesn't necessarily deserve that. So please don't be that guy. With that, like, subscribe, comment, subscribe to the Runga main channel, subscribe to Runga Storytime if you want to hear some of my Storytime stuff. With that, I'm out.